When people think of a TV star, they don't usually think of a 6 feet tall pawnbroker from Detroit and his kids. But for several seasons, Les Gold was the star of the small screen of True TV. Him and his two children, Seth and Ashley, combined drama, deals, and Detroit to make a show that people couldn't get enough of. But before the fame, Les found his sales gift in Hebrew school, courtesy of pizza.
I was the original Little Caesars way back when. And the reason that I did that at first was because we used to go to Hebrew school at 6 o'clock at night. We were all hungry. So I bought a pizza for me and everybody says, Les, can I have a piece? And I was giving it away. After that, I realized giving it away is not a way to make money. So I began bringing in pizzas every week when I went to Hebrew school and became a pretty good business.
Les opened the original American Jewelry and Loan in 1978 and moved into the current bigger building in 1993. Les brought Seth and Ashley on as his partners and co-owners and knew that the future of his store would be in good hands.
One of the things that I've always thought about was the future, my children's future, my future. The greatest thing that I see right now is that my family was with me for all those years. Ashley has since left this business and opened up her own jewelry company. But Seth being here, and I wanted to make sure that American Jewelry and Loan would survive. Listen, we're not going to be here forever. And I wanted to make sure that American Jewelry and Loan, which is my third child, survived after I'm gone.
Pawn shops have been known as a man's world, but Les had no hesitations bringing his daughter into that environment. But there are times when the protective dad in him has to come out, especially when a customer made degrading remarks to Ashley, and the only thing holding him back was the courtroom.
Man, really? You don't think so? You don't think so? Here's the way it's gonna work. You don't disrespect my daughter in my store. Get the out of here.
I didn't want to get sued by it, but you know what? Nobody takes advantage of my children. Nobody comes in here and talks bad to them. Nobody talks that way to my employees. One of the things that I pride myself on is I have my employees and my families back all the way, and nobody's going to come in here and insult us.
Now, no great TV show is without controversy, and Hardcore Pawn is no exception. In 2012, a rivalry began between Hardcore Pawn and the History Channel's Pawn Stars after Les was snubbed attempting to visit the Pawn Stars crew in Vegas. But 7 years later, Les says that his pawn shop is still #1.
We're the biggest, baddest pawn shop in America. There's no question about it. The guys in Las Vegas, they have a wonderful set. I've been in there, and their store isn't really a pawn shop anymore. What they have is a merchandise facility. You come into Detroit, into American Jewelry and Loan, we're a pawn shop just as we were during the TV show.
Les has been a Detroit native his entire life, so when Hardcore Pawn received criticism for putting Detroit in a negative light, Les couldn't have disagreed more.
Detroit was painted in the negative light before Hardcore Pawn was on TV. You saw the blight, you saw the problems in the city, and I was always the advocate that Detroit can come back. I was on Varney, and we had a bet that he said Detroit will never come back. This is when the last mayor went to jail. And I said, no, it's going to come back. And now if you look around the city, it's building and booming everywhere.
These days, it's business as usual at American Jewelry and Loan. But even with the cameras off, Les still deals with occurrences that are quite out of the ordinary.
There's been so many, from the guy that took his eyeball out of the socket wanting to pawn it to buying Jack Kevorkian's van. So every day is such a unique experience. There's nothing that comes to the forefront more than those.
Reporting in Detroit, Leo Goldman, BG24.